Hello. Today I want to talk to you about what the USCIS Policy Manual is, how it can be used, and why specifically is it really helpful for immigration attorneys to cite them in their legal cover letters. My name is Yalda Hajavi, and I focus my practice primarily on employment-based immigration and family-based immigration. So the Policy Manual is the Immigration Service's online repository of all the immigration policies and trends. The government tends to update the USCIS policy, and immigration attorneys get alerts when this happens. For national interest waivers specifically, I have found the Policy Manual to be incredibly helpful in advocating for my clients' cases and arguing why the work that they're doing should be considered in the national interest of the United States. So very briefly, an NIW is granted to foreign nationals that can show that their work has national importance, substantial merit, that they are well positioned to advance their fields in the US, and that on a balance, it would make sense for the government to waive the labor certification process and to grant them this national interest waiver instead. So if they get it, they don't need to go through the Department of Labor's process, which can be very cumbersome and long. They'll get the waiver. They're just dealing with one agency rather than the Immigration Service and the Department of Labor together. So the Policy Manual for National Interest Waiver is really helpful because if you look into that section, you will see specific rules and criteria that the government is considering to be helpful or valuable for specific foreign nationals that qualify. So for example, if you're in the STEM field, the Policy Manual states that you should get favorable discretion when the officer evaluates the case. That doesn't mean that just because someone is in the STEM field, they're gonna get an NIW. It just means that it's in their favor that they have that background. The Policy Manual also cites to a variety of different fields that it considers to be of national importance, or as it likes to say, critically emerging fields. So there's a whole list of footnotes in the Policy Manual that I like to read and actually click on. And when you do that, it takes you to a different government page where you can read through all the different types of fields, agencies, and institutions that may apply to your client's case. It's extremely helpful to cite from the USCIS's Policy Manual when advocating for a national interest waiver, specifically because you're really telling the immigration officer that the rules that you have provided apply to my client, therefore their case should get favorable discretion and hopefully get approved. Of course, using stronger language than that, but it's language that has come from the government itself. It's policies that they're mandated to follow. So it would be unwise for the immigration officer to deviate from the policy that its very agency that they're working under has put forward. So I use it religiously. I also sometimes highlight it and include that page in the filing, but typically I think just taking out the language that you want to cite to and providing a reason why that applies to your specific case in the legal cover letter is extremely helpful. I've also found by clicking through their different links and footnotes, it has referred me to other agencies or reports and articles that are helpful to my client's case, and I include those as separate exhibits in the filing as well. So it's really a great repository of research that is out there, and I think it's not utilized enough in the immigration community. So I hope that was a helpful recap and also overview of the USCIS's Policy Manual and how specifically it can be used in NIW petitions. Thank you.